Please be advised, this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered health, tax, legal, or professional advice. We are not responsible for any losses, damages, or liabilities that may arise from the use of this podcast.
And now, I talk back with Ray
I'm telling you, I couldn't make it up if I tried.
and Mandii.
You've got to be freaking kidding me. You know what? That's all I'm saying. Just learn, and so that's what feels comfortable to you. Yeah. And then you want that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're looking for a therapist, Felix, what do you think are the key components that somebody should?
Great question.
Yeah.
You should feel comfortable with the therapist. You should give yourself 1 to 3 sessions. But after the 3rd session, if you don't feel comfortable or some level of trust, like I might be able to talk to this guy, this person about private things, that therapist is probably not the one for you. There has to be that chemistry, that comfortability, that trust, that emotional safety. And you can tell right off the bat.
Oh, yeah.
Whether you're usually there, my clients can tell right off the bat. And I know I could tell right off the bat from my own previous therapists. So that you should look for a therapist that listens, that is responsive. I cannot tell you how awful it is in my profession to hear when a client comes to me, I've called 3 therapists and they never called me back. Or my old therapist, like I would leave them a message and they wouldn't respond. You know, we're dealing with mental health. We're dealing with people's lives. Yeah. Like if I don't call you back within 24 hours, I might be dead.
Yeah.
Like that is the level of responsiveness that I take. And that's something that I feel like people should expect. And I think you should also ask a little bit about their background and like what people they generally work with. My passion is the LGBTQ community, but you might not know that if you don't ask me. Yeah. You might not know that my foundation started in school social work. You might just make a lot of assumptions, and it's okay to interview a therapist. Yeah. You know, a lot of people, because there's such a power differential between someone going to someone for help and a helper, you know, generally people don't feel like they have permission to interview a therapist. Yeah. But that's what I consider my first session to be, is I'm being interviewed by my client.
Like to see if they're going to be a good fit, if you're going to be a good fit for each other.
Yeah.
Because it takes a ton of courage. Even, I mean, for anything, it takes a ton of courage to step out of your comfort space and say, I feel like I need help. I feel like I need to talk to somebody, and get out of the space where you feel like nobody cares what I'm thinking or nobody cares about me, you know, and you actually want to release whatever it is that you've been holding in that you feel that you don't have anybody to talk to about. It takes a lot of courage for that. So you absolutely want to make sure that the person that you're with is a person that's going to help you walk that journey, right? And like feel comfortable with them.
And hold that as if it's precious, you know, because it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What do you feel? So in my culture and community, and I'm always going to talk about that and go back to that. You know how, so a lot of people will seek Black counselors or counselors of their own culture, own ethnic background, or own, you know, sexual orientation or just sex. What do you feel about that?
I like that. I like the idea of going to someone that feels familiar or comfortable. I also like the idea of like being able to work with someone that's really different than you. Yeah. But I have noticed that because I can kind of put that out there that I want to work with LGBTQ and I'm gay myself,
Mhm.
most of my clients fall under that umbrella, but I've also noticed like all of these men, these straight men,
Mhm.
have gravitated towards my practice,
Mhm.
men of color who have traditionally never
Yeah.
sought therapy.
Mhm.
And so they're looking for someone that kind of looks like them,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know, and I have come to love those clients. So like I kind of thought I would be serving exclusively a certain kind, like the LGBTQ, but my clientele is pretty diverse.
I don't even know you, Felix. And I only read your stuff like recently when Amanda sent it personally.
Yeah.
I think it's just for a better interview, to be honest with you. But what I will say is just your aura, your energy. I'm an energy person. It seems like I'd even see you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I
Mhm.
wouldn't, and normally like I will look for women or whatever because I've always had the idea of what is understood doesn't have to be explained.
Mhm.
And so a lot of the times when I would see somebody, it was I would get really turned off because I'm having to explain what it is to be a black woman, number one,
Mhm.
right? And then just different obstacles that you have raising boys, and so some of my anxiety, I guess, would be just from my kids making it home safely.
Mhm.
And people didn't understand like why would you be so anxious about that, or why would you be, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you're not going to understand that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
a
So it's
certain
like, so
amount
there's
of lived experience that's
Yeah.
right,
needed for that.
right. And so I think even just minorities in general sometimes understand those types of dynamics because you don't have to explain it.
Mhm.
Or if they're not a minority, that's fine. But as long as they're open enough or been exposed enough to
Mhm.
other cultures and other people that they've heard it, they kind of,
They
they,
understand.
they kind of,
Mhm.
yeah, they can't relate, they can understand.
Right.
And so I think it's good. Like I think it's great just to have like more minority counselors that are available, whether you're
Absolutely.
gay or not or whatever it is. It's just like having somebody that you can feel comfortable with
Yes. And
and
connect with.
vulnerable with.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
that's a
Yeah.
big deal. So
And
thank you
honestly,
for
the therapy space has been a white space for so long.
Oh yeah.
And it
that.
has been traditionally like just had a close proximity to whiteness.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like dismantling that is
Mhm.
so important for
Yeah.
all of us.
Hmm.
And so I agree. More representation of people of color and diverse backgrounds in
Mhm.
therapy
Hmm.
is a good thing.
Yeah. And I think too, because you know, you want to, like for me, I would want to see somebody that I know has gone through what I've gone through. Like I'll just say like when I had my miscarriage, I don't want to see somebody who's never had a miscarriage before because they don't know that trauma depth, right? They don't know what it feels like to have had a miscarriage. So when I went to see the therapist when I had a miscarriage, she had actually lost a baby too. And so she understood what I was going through and what what was going on with me, knowing that, I had postpartum depression, she had postpartum depression. So she knew the signs to look for. And when I was talking and how I was, even my body movements and things like that, she was like, I just want to let you know, I'm not sure if you are feeling it, but you have postpartum depression. And I was like, yeah, I feel it, but because she was able to see those signs and it wasn't just textbooked for her, that meant
Hmm.
a lot.
Yeah.
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 So,
Everybody can learn about the 5 stages of grief. I mean, I did that when I was in college and I
yeah.
had to, but when you have somebody that has grieved, it's different.
Hmm.
it's
Yeah.
it's different.
Yeah. But and it all circles back to the areas that people normally go in as a career or they put their passion behind is based on things that they've lived through, things that they've gone through. Like my cousin right now, he's studying to be an oncologist nurse because he lost his mom to colon cancer. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why his passion is behind being an oncology nurse because he wants to help people that are going through that. And so just knowing that people have the passion for it because they know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
they
want to help single women that can't find a man. That's my passion.
But
I'm like, I've been divorced. Like I always say this about me and Mandy. Like when people ask me, I think it's flattering. A lot of people ask me relationship advice, and I think it's totally flattering and marriage advice. I think it's great. I've been married. I'm divorced. I was married 9 years. So I can tell you a little bit, but I always say it's kind of like I can probably tell you what not to do more than I can tell you what to do. Like I can tell you because
Yeah.
I can tell you like who not to date or look for signs, but like you probably want to go to Mandy if you want to know how to keep a marriage going because it's not going to be me. No, I'm like get out of there quickly.
Yeah. So it's like a yin and yang with us, right?
Exactly. Like I've been
Yeah.
single for so long.
I trust your relationship
Yeah.
advice. I would take
I have
some
yes.
advice.
I have been single for a long time. So yeah, like I can tell you what not to do. But like I said, me and Amanda were like, I've been like single forever. Amanda's been her man since she was a teenager. So I'm like, girl, I don't know. I can't relate to that. Like I can tell you what not to do. I cannot tell you how to help your marriage stay together. That's not my forte.
Hey, look, my relationship with Donnell, and if you've been in a relationship long enough, you know it's not always sunshine and rainbows. There are hard dips.
You can tell me how to get through that, but you can tell me how to get through the thunderstorms.
It's
and
that
my
closet.
thing is,
it's that closet scenario, girl, that I be telling you all the time.
The man will get an umbrella to get the thunderstorm. I'm like, girl, just drive off.
I'm like, look in the closet. If you will miss their stuff not being there, then that means you still care and you need to go to therapy.
I just go decorate. You can see my closet right now. I just go get some more clothes and put on their size. That's why I'm gonna get better though.
Yeah. So my daughter is actually going to become a licensed clinical social worker. Why can't I say that? What's wrong with me? What's my problem? Licensed clinical social worker. That's it, right? That's it?
Yes.
Yeah. So she's actually gonna she already has her master's, but she actually has her ceremony this Friday. So this Friday, I will be in Arlington cheering her, walking that stage.
Oh, that's wonderful. You must be so proud.
I am so beyond proud. I am beyond proud. And it's so funny because she just happened along social work. I never once told her anything about social work or what she needed to do or how she needed to live her life. I even told her, if you want to go to college, great. If you don't, then, it's your life. You're going to have to, maneuver it throughout when I'm gone. And she decided to go to social work to become a licensed clinical social worker. That's actually what I was going to college for at one point in time.
Wow.
But I stopped going to college for it. And I had to drop out because I had her when I was young. It's a whole backstory to that, but I couldn't no longer go. But that's what I was going to school for. So after she finished all her studies, and I told her finally, because I didn't want that to be something that she thought about, like, oh, well, my mom was going for it, so maybe that should, you know what I mean? I just did not want to like have any impact on her decision making. I wanted it to be hers. So I just thought it was really cool that she happened upon that. Now she's not going into like the therapy sector. She's going into the grant writing for nonprofits. So she's going another way, just getting funding for, nonprofits that need the money to serve the community. So, yeah. So I think she's actually going to be doing, she's really hopeful, fingers crossed, prayers up. She's looking at United Way.
Oh, great. Great. The administrative route, and that is a macro level job is just as fulfilling, because you're just doing different work to help people.
Yeah. And who knows, maybe that'll change in the future. That's why I'm not pressing her for anything. Like, I love that she loves doing grant writing, but I know, and as we all know, once you get further in your career, sometimes
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So who knows? And my mom keeps like getting on her, like, are you going to go for your doctorate? Are you going for doctorate? She's like, no, I don't want to research. Like, I don't need to go for my doctorate for anything. Like, I'm going to be licensed. That's where I want to stop, And at one point in time, she wanted to be a marriage and family counselor, but she changed from that and she ended up doing the nonprofit sector. Yeah. Okay. So, but when Felix came in, I was like, oh my gosh, my daughter is going to be going for this. So it's like the universe matched us for some reason.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I have enjoyed you, Mr. Felix. I tell you, you see my name come up, you like, okay, I need a session.
I've enjoyed both of you guys too. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate it, and all of your thoughtful questions.
Yes, absolutely. And so, if somebody did feel like they connected with you and want to know more about you, and maybe want to schedule a session with you, where would they find you?
You can Google me, barnharttherapy.com. Felix Barnhart. I do accept some insurance, and I have a office in Cedar Park and also an office in Austin. And then in between those two offices, I do telehealth.
Yes. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you so much again. It has been a pleasure, and I will see you Monday.
All right. See you then. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning into I Talk Back with Rae and Mandii. Please hit the like and subscribe button to stay updated on future podcasts.